Hey everyone, welcome to your final video of Unit 0. This is writing with attention to detail. Congrats on making it this far. This is the last video of Unit 0. So you've made it through the first unit in English, almost. Our objective today is that we'll be able to write a professional email, which is a really awesome skill to start practicing as a 10th grader, because you're going to need this all the time to email your teachers, maybe your college professors, or your bosses at work. So this is a great skill to learn and practice. Because this is the last video of Unit 0, I wanted to revisit our classroom expectations. You all have been doing such a good job with these this year. I'm really impressed with the 10th graders this year. So I just wanted to review this so that we're all on the same page. But I also appreciate that you've been following these. Our first expectation is that we're treating ourselves and others, our classmates, our teachers, with kindness and respect. We're using our time efficiently. Remember, that looks like making sure our phones are put away during class time. We're staying positive. We have a growth mindset. If you have a question, please always know you can ask me or you can ask your classmates. And if you cause a problem, fix it. So again, thanks for following these, and we're going to continue with these expectations moving forward. All right, so what makes an email professional? I want to talk about different types of communication. We all are probably sending a bunch of text messages throughout the day. And when you text your friends, you probably use like slang or emojis. You probably don't capitalize letters or like spell everything correctly. You probably don't put periods at the end of your sentences. That's okay for texting, but that's not okay when we're writing professional emails or when we're writing an essay for school or you're writing on your mastery checks. That's when we need to use complete sentences, capitalize the first letter of each sentence, spell things correctly, put periods at the end of our sentences. So going forward, I never want to see like slang or emojis in an academic essay or in an email to your teachers, okay? Why is it important for us to write professional emails? So there's a couple reasons. One of them being that it helps gain respect. So unfortunately, it's a reality that we live in a society where people are judged on how they communicate. It can make or break whether you get a job based on how well you can write and how well you can speak in your interviews. And so writing a professional email will help you gain respect, and it'll help you be able to advocate for yourself and for others. So our first tip for writing a professional email, I'm about to give you 8, and I want you to write these 8 tips in your notes. The first tip is consider your audience. So if you are writing a text message to your friend, you might have a really casual, informal tone, right? But when you're writing an email to your teacher or to your boss at work, you really want to use a more formal tone that shows respect and that shows that you're talking about, serious academic issues. Tip number 2 is include a specific subject line. So in an email, there's always going to be a subject that kind of lets the person know what this email is going to be about. In your subject line, it'd be great to include your class period, a specific topic, maybe like the unit number that we're working on, the lesson number. So for example, you could send me an email that says Hour 7, Unit 0, Lesson 5. And right away, I know, okay, I'm thinking about the kids in my 7th hour. I'm thinking about Unit 0 and what's going on in Lesson 5. This is super clear and specific and lets me know exactly what you want to talk about. So make sure you include a specific subject line in your emails. Tip number 3 is to include a professional greeting. So these are examples of appropriate ways to start your email. You could say, Dear Miss Peterson. Hello, Miss Peterson. Good morning, teacher. So you'll notice, remember to capitalize names, right? So the P is capitalized, the M is capitalized. These are great ways to greet your teacher and to start off your email. One other example, good afternoon, amazing instructor. I would love to receive that in an email. Tip number 4 is avoid using all caps and a bunch of exclamation points, okay? It looks like you're screaming, and people will not respond well to this. So do not capitalize everything in your email. Don't put like 7 exclamation points at the end. We're casual, we're calm, we're not freaking out, right? Okay, sorry, that took me a second to get the slide. Tip number 5 is to make sure you're clear, mention specifics, and be clear with your questions. So just sending me an email that says, I don't get it, that's not super helpful. I don't know what you're stuck on. I don't know what you're struggling with. So a great example would be, I am confused about Unit 0, Lesson 4. I don't know what a sensory detail is. How do I include one in my poem? So this is a really specific question where then I know exactly how to respond and how to help you out. So avoid just saying like, I'm confused. I need help. Tell me a little bit more about what you need help with. Tip number 6 is to allow for response time. So this is saying that if you send me an email maybe at like 8 p.m., I'm not going to respond to you that night, okay? I don't check my email after like 4 or 5 p.m. Teachers, we have a lot of responsibilities. I want to get back to you. I want to respond to you, but it might not be right away. Allow for up to 24 hours before you send a follow-up email. So I'm always going to try and respond to you within 24 hours. And I think I'm pretty good about that. If I don't, you can send me another email and just say, hey, checking in, could you respond to my message? Tip number 7 is be sure that you proofread. So proofread's like editing, just reading over it to make sure everything is good. This is for spell check and correcting errors. So make sure that you've looked at people's names and their titles to make sure that they're spelled correctly. I go by Miss Peterson, so MS. So that would be the proper title for me. But some of your teachers are Mr. or Mrs. or maybe Doctor. So just know how your teachers like to be addressed. Tip number 8 is include a signature and an ending. So these are ways you can end your email. Thank you, and then your name. Sincerely, and then your name. See you tomorrow, and then your name. So these are all great ways to end your email, and make sure you include your name at the bottom of the email as well. All right, so those are your 8 tips. You are actually going to get to practice writing an email as your final summative for this unit. If you have any questions, please let me know. And now you can move on to your next step.